Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Sunday, April 3rd, 2016, around 6:59 in the morning, Berwick, Massachusetts, waking up to some snow, showers and snow squalls, and maybe thunder snow. This is a quick moving clipper system, which will be out of here by mid-morning, and the sun will come out and melt the snow away, 1 to as much as 7 inches of snow, and another round of snow Monday afternoon. Sometimes we get this weather pattern in early April, but it's not going to stick around forever. Some news to report. It's in the NCAA Final Four. What happened last night was Villanova crushed Oklahoma, and North Carolina beat Syracuse. So the national championship game for the NCAA Men's Final Four will be North Carolina against Villanova at 9 p.m. on TBS. This will be the first time a network other than CBS has carried the national championship game in 35 years. George Semelaris got reelected to the Board of Selectmen in Berwick, Massachusetts. He finished second place. There were 2 seats available, and George got reelected. The top vote getter was Kim Conway. Mike Rose's 18 years on the Board of Selectmen in Berwick is over. And also, Lightning's captain, Steven Stamkos, is going to be out 1 to 3 months with a blood clot in his arm, so that's not good. Lightning's down a couple of players. This might hurt their chances to make a return to the Stanley Cup Finals, and it's WrestleMania 32 today in Dallas, Texas. That's about it on the news. My first video blog subject of the day is a continuation of the top 100 television sitcoms of all time. I've now reached numbers 40 through 31, and here they are. Number 40 on this list of the greatest television sitcom of all time, The Patty Duke Show, starring Patty Duke as identical cousins, Patty and Kathy. Very, very great show. Lasted 3 years on ABC. Was kind of a vehicle for Patty Duke to get to stardom in the mid-60s. Number 39 on this list of the greatest television sitcoms of all time, Designing Women, which lasted 7 seasons on CBS between 1986 through 1993. It was about beautiful women starring Dixie Carter, Delta Burke, Jean Smart, Annie Potts, McShickle Taylor. Later on they had Julia Duffy and Jan Hooks. It was one of the top sitcoms in CBS in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Very, very popular. Number 38 on this list of the greatest television sitcoms of all time, the Donna Reed Show. The Donna Reed Show lasted 8 seasons on ABC between 1958 through 1966, starring Donna Reed as a housewife, a middle-class housewife. Her husband on the show was Carl Betts. He was a lawyer. It also starred Shelley Fabre and Paul Peterson. You could see the reruns on MeTV. Number 37 on this list of the greatest television sitcoms of all time, Soap. Soap lasted 4 seasons on ABC between 1977 and 1981. It was a parody of soap operas that were on television. It was about 2 families, the Campbell and the Tates. It was Jessica Tate and Mary Campbell and their family, starring Catherine Hellman and Catherine Damon, also starring Robert Mandan, Richard Mulligan, Billy Crystal, and others. It was very, very, very funny. Kind of a little bit controversial because Billy Crystal's character, Jody Dallas, was like, homosexual character he played, and back in the 70s that was a little bit of a no-no on television, but it got real popular. Number 36 on this list of the greatest television sitcoms of all time. That Girl lasted from 1966 through 1971, starring Marlo Thomas as Anne Marie, as aspiring actress in New York City. She had a boyfriend, Donald, played by Ted Bessell, which was a very big hit. They were boyfriend girlfriend. They got engaged to be married the last season, but they never got married. And reruns of That Girl are on MeTV. Number 35 on this list of the greatest television sitcoms of all time, Three's Company. Three's Company lasted 8 years on ABC between 1977 and 1984, starring John Ritter as Jack Tripper. He was a single guy who roommate with two ladies, co-starring Joyce Stewart as Janet Dubois and Suzanne Summers as Chrissy Snow. Very, very great show, very funny. So Suzanne Summers left the show in 1981, and they had Jenny Lynn Harris and Patricia Barnes on the show to replace Suzanne Summers, also starring like Don Knotts and Richard Klein and Jeffrey Talbot and Lopez, which was Norman Fell and Audrey Lamont. It was real great. The Lopez had its own spin-off for a while, and reruns of Three's Company on Internet TV. Number 34 on this list of the greatest television sitcoms of all time, One Day at a Time. One Day at a Time lasted 9 seasons on CBS between 1975 and 1984. Produced by Norman Lear, who was a king of the producing sitcoms in the 70s and 80s. It was about Bonnie Franklin, divorced mother of 2, playing Anne Romano and her 2 daughters, which was played by Valerie Bertinelli and Mackenzie Phillips. Julie and Barbara Romano, they settled in an apartment in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they had maintenance work for the apartment building. Schneider, who was played by Pat Harrington Jr. Schneider's character was like kind of a smoothing ladies man. He tried to hit on Anne Romano many times, but it was very good. And this show is on Internet TV. Number 33 on this list of the greatest television sitcoms of all time, Taxi. Taxi lasted 5 seasons. The first 4 are on ABC, and the last season on NBC. It starred Judge Hirsch, Danny DeVito, Tony Danza, Christopher Lloyd, Mary Lou Hanna, Jeff Conway, and Andy Kaufman. It was about antics of a New York City taxi cab company. I loved Danny DeVito's character of Louis. It got canceled by ABC in 1982. It resurfaced on NBC for the final season. There was rumors this show was even going to go on HBO in the early 1980s for the 5th season, but it was a little bit too much of a risk for like a kind of established sitcom to go into cable, even a paid cable network, because this was still cable was still an unknown player. And I love Taxi a lot. Reruns of it's on MeTV. Number 32 on this list of the greatest television sitcoms of all time, Mork and Mindy. Mork and Mindy lasted 4 seasons on ABC between 1978 and 1982, a spin-off from Happy Days starring Robin Williams from alien called Mork from Mork, and Mindy and Pam Darby as Mindy McConnell. Like Mork moved in with Mindy the first episode in Boulder, Colorado. They developed a great relationship, and eventually they turned to be married. was Robin Williams' first major hit. Was real so funny. Show kind of lasted as should have lasted at least several more years, but it was popular the first season, but it dipped down and never recovered. And number 31 on this list of the greatest television sitcoms of all time, Will and Grace. Will and Grace lasted on NBC between 1998 and 2006. It starred Eric McCormack as Will, who was a gay lawyer trying to develop chemistry with Grace, who was played by Deborah Messing, and she was a straight interior designer. It also starred Sean Hayes and Megan Mullally as Karen, like a very annoying secretary, probably one of the greatest character actresses in a television sitcom. It was probably the best. Loved like Karen a lot. That which Megan played. That's about it on that. Tomorrow will be from number 30 through number 21. And the next big list I'm going to do is going to be the top 50 greatest professional wrestling tag teams of all time. That's coming up soon. Later on today, it will be about surprise teams in the NBA. And the third and final video below my personality profile will be about Baseball Hall of Famer Tony Perez. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Button guy. Molly Rosenblatt of WCCO accent has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swansea so awesome. And in the word of Sean Lucia, get out.